We got some more Hawks news to cover. Let's get into it. What is good, everybody? Welcome back. How's everybody Saturday doing? How you doing, Todd?
Doing good, man. Been a busy week since Thursday. Been pretty busy.
Yeah, lots of Hawks action. So obviously we did the show breaking down Dejounte earlier. You got any more thoughts to add since we last did that?
Well, he's a Hawk now, so I guess that's the thing. But yeah, good job, team. Good job, Slink. Good job, Fields. Tits, as we like to say, Tristan Travis.
Yeah.
He. I mean, he pulled the trigger. Everybody was so worried about the 5 o'clock thing, and then, like we said, at 5:06, he was gone. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, his press conference, he said he wanted to be here. Him and Trey have been talking for a couple weeks now. So I mean, it was noticeable that we knew that Trey wanted him, and that he wanted to be here, and it happened. So, Trey was kind of the catalyst for it, and he just had to get it. You just had to do more. You just had to get him. If that's what your star wants, you had to go get him.
Yeah, obviously a couple notable quotes from the press conference. One, I think first it's important to highlight the quality of the organization that the Spurs are. As
Yeah.
he was very evident in saying that the Spurs wanted the best for me, and I very much appreciate from that. So, once again, reapplying the fact that the Spurs are a great organization. But next, other than that, he said that Atlanta was like the only place he looked at. Now, obviously, you can think that it's like he's just saying because that's like what anybody would say. But with him, I think it really does feel true because how many other teams are really like that are contending are really that great of a fit for him? So I
Not a
thought that was
lot. And
interesting.
a lot of them are young. A lot of them aren't as young as the Hawks are.
Yeah.
So that's another thing for him.
And then the other thing that gave him bonus points for me is that he gave Chris Kirschner a hard time because
Yeah.
I forget what he said, and then Kirschner came back around. He's like, "I knew come back around after what I just answered." It was funny.
I think it was
That was the
the
bonus
when
points
he
for me.
said him and Trey was talking. I think that's
Yeah,
when he said, yeah, he was like, I knew you was gonna come back around as soon as I said that.
yeah, because
Which
then
Chris needs to be Chris. It's kind of what Arthur Smith does with D-Led for the AJC and Michael Rothenstein for ESPN. It's like that playful banter because they get on, like, the media really and truly gets on a lot of these guys' nerves, and they always ask the same questions over and over again. So I think for him, it was just happened. Like, he just it was a joke, but I mean it's gonna be stuff like that. You needed somebody to be playful and do stuff like that because that's what's needed. I mean, the media is gonna be annoying 9 times out of 10. So let's
yeah,
let's just make them not be annoying.
yeah, and you know, getting used to Kirschner day one, it's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah, really and truly, getting used to him day one is amazing.
Yeah, and then I think the other interesting thing was like, I mean, obviously we don't see everything on the benches and stuff, but he really emphasized the fact that the Hawks had fun. And obviously last year it didn't really appear that, but maybe you get a different sense on court, um, which I think is
Yeah,
really
that was a
interesting.
thing where he said we were a fun team. Like we always, like we were very, like we knew the team liked each other. Of course, I mean everybody
Yeah,
on the team liked each other, so that wasn't really surprising. I think it was just more the fact of like we didn't really see. I guess because we weren't on the court. You're not watching the bench 24/7. You're not being able to just watch the bench. There's no bench cam, so if it's as a player you get to see that on the court, you get to see that during the game, you hear the guys talking, and so you probably he's heard a lot, so he's probably heard the team joking and laughing. He's heard it from Trey, and I mean half the team, let's be honest, if I put like we put in the thumbnail, half the team is really gone. I mean the core
yeah,
pieces are here, and then everybody else is like, I mean it's like it. I mean, we're going to talk about Kev, but other than that, you don't really have a lot of core pieces no more. Like a lot of the guys that were on that team last year are gone.
yeah. The only really core guys left are the guys with huge upside, or the veterans that have probably reached their peak, but are going to contribute a necessity for the Hawks, like Bowie and Capella.
Yeah,
So
I
very
think that's the
different
thing.
team even just 1 year ago.
Yeah. Um, I mean, you don't have Gallo anymore. Traded Kev. You don't have a lot of the other core. I mean, you got DeAndre, Cam's gone.
Mhm.
Sky, we don't know. We might sign Skylar back, but Skylar's gone. A lot of the guys, like, I mean, we don't have only people left on that picture is Bogey, Clint, um, JC, Trey. Who else was on that picture that's still here? Um,
Okongwu,
DeAndre, Okongwu, and DeAndre.
yeah,
So they're young, they're talented. Those are guys that still haven't reached their peak in there. And then there's guys that the two vets now are Bogey and Capella, but they're key contributors to this team. And of course, we brought in the Holiday brothers, which Trey seems to like. I mean, he put out a tweet talking about it's a holiday.
yeah.
So, um,
I think
and they
that
played
really,
under Nate, so they have that
yeah,
experience of set themselves, so they know how Nate coaches. So I mean, it's a big thing. It's a different team. It's a really different team.
for sure. But I mean, bring in the Holiday Brothers, bring in Harkless, even though he probably won't get like any minutes. You're adding bench presence guys who will set an edge in practice, which will hopefully translate to games. I feel like,
Yeah, that's the thing. You're getting, like you said, you're getting guys that are, they're defensive guys. Like these are 3-and-D guys. Like they're going to bring intensity to a lot
yeah,
of practices, and we need that. If it takes us needing that, that's what we need. And of course, we know Nate loves 3-and-D guys, 3-and-D wings.
Nate
So I
and
mean,
Shaq.
you brought in three D and 3D. I mean, Aaron's a little bit shorter, so it's
Yeah,
a little
but
different, but I mean, he still plays really good defense and he's a 3-point shooter. So, Justin's the tall. I mean, shoot, we might as well go and get Drew, and the Dream might as well go and get the sister. So we might as well just have all the holidays in Atlanta just cause. But it's cool. It's gonna be a cool experience with this roster. We don't know for sure what the final roster is gonna be, but it's gonna be pretty fun to watch, and just to see it. Like I mean, just to see us play the first preseason game is gonna be exciting, really
yeah,
and truly.
obviously you don't root for a huge roster turnover this year, but I think, or every year like that we've had for the past what like 3 years now, except like the 1 year we went from Eastern Conference and then kept the roster. But I mean, this roster turnover feels different than the roster turnover that brought in Gallo and Bogey and all the vets and stuff because I mean you're adding a lot of youth again. You're re-infusing youth into the roster because no one you added was what older than like 27 or anything.
Yeah,
Um, and then not only doing that, but you're also adding more guys with an edge. Well, you're adding more guys with a finesse in whatever that was 2020. So I think that's going to be a huge difference because now you've had who you guys with finesse are going to be, and now you're just making guys with an edge onto your team to help. Like iron sharpens iron.
Justin is the oldest, and he's 33, and
Yeah,
then Aaron's 25, so he's right on pace with the whole team. Um, and then I mean he's on a 1 year deal. It's like kind of what we did with DeLon last year, just giving 1 year deals. Um, but it'll be fun to see. I want to see what he can give us. I want to see what uh Justin can give us. I don't know if Mo's even gonna play. I feel like Mo
yeah, I
might
don't
not
think so.
play. I feel like he's just the bench. I feel like he's just the roster filler kind of sort of. I think he's a bench
Maybe
guy.
maybe he'll fill in the new like Solomon Hill role.
Yeah, I think he's kind of like the new solo. He might get minutes if somebody's hurt, but other than that, he's just that bench guy, that bench presence. Like
Yeah,
he's the guy you don't want to talk to on the bench. Um, and I think that trade kind of made it seem like JC isn't gonna go anywhere. Um, we don't know for sure. It might be It might be at the trade deadline. We never know what'll happen with JC because every other day it's a JC trade rumor. So we just don't know. We just don't know anything really with what other moves we're gonna make. But it's not gonna be a. It's gonna be fun. It's a fun experience to have because we were begging Travis to make moves, and now that he's making moves, you can't complain. I think that's my thing. You can't complain about the moves he's making because he went and got an all-star, just getting to sit right next to your trade, and they kept asking him about playing off ball and not playing, and he didn't really care about it. He said he didn't really care. Like Trey's going to give him the ball. Trey's going to get him the ball really and truly. Trey's never not going to give you the ball or get you the ball if you need it. So, which is so weird to me that everybody wants to bring that whole John Collins thing up about him wanting more touches when Trey gives him touches and he can score easily.
Trey's the only
So
one that gives him consistent touches.
yeah, he's one of the main ones that gets consistent touches. So I don't know how they say he doesn't get touches. I mean, he scores. He can have a game where he gets like 35 and any night, really and truly, if the matchup's bad. Let's think about it. He might if he has a good matchup, he's gonna attack it. He did it to Tobias in the Philly series when he
Yeah,
got the ball, he attacked Tobias.
he did it to Bobby
And
in the Eastern Conference Finals too.
yeah, because he's faster than a lot of guys. The thing about him is that a lot of these power forwards, like the bigger ones, they're not quick enough to keep up with him. And Tobias isn't tall enough to stop him in a turnaround.
Yeah,
So a lot of guys want to run small ball, and he's a small ball power forward, but he's quick and he's tall. He's a tall small ball power forward.
yeah, he's agile, very
Yeah,
agile for his size.
he's very good in the pick and roll, and that's my thing for keeping him because you have Clint and JC in pick and roll situations, they're gonna get 20 a night with Dejounte and Trey. Like, and they're gonna Clint's gonna have at least we know Clint's gonna get at least 10 rebounds. Clint's not really gonna get out rebounded a lot. And you gotta think the pick and pop game with JC you're gonna have, the pick and pop game you can have with Hunter, the pick and roll game you can have with JC or Hunter or Capella is going to be very dangerous for a lot of teams to really think about because you can't press. You can't pick and roll and go under on Trey because he's going to pull it. You can't go over because you're going to have your center to help you,
Yeah,
and you're going to leave Capella. It's hard to guard when you have 2 point guards. Think about it. Like you have 2 point guards. A team that had 2 point guards that was really good, but they were both really good defensively. If we go back to Nate McMillan playing days, was Gary Payton and Nate. Like that team, they had 2 point guards, and they really were able to give the ball up. I mean, he led the league. It's so funny. Gary Payton is one of the we always talk about Gary, but Nate is one. If you go back and look at some of his film and what he did in college and in
he
the
was elite
NBA, like
defensively.
defensively, it's ridiculous. And I think what he can do with Dejounte, if he can train him kind of in that same type of manner, I mean, it's gonna be scary to have him next to Trey because the guards, like Trey has a team now, he can't get exposed defensively. Not with this team. I don't think there's a team. I don't think he can get exposed defensively with this team.
Yeah, your closing lineup now consists of Trey Young, but you'll have Dejounte, Hunter, JC, and CC out there, and
Yeah,
that's just elite defensively.
yeah. And what's up, Wallace? How you doing today?
What's up, Wallace?
Um, what's good, Feely? We finally have some athleticism and shooting guard, somebody that can play above the rim. He can defend. Murray's pass shooting would need to improve some. Would need to improve the love the sign and go Hawks. Um, yeah, I think for what he did last year, if you look at his numbers last year, it's nuts. Let's think about it. I mean, he almost averaged a triple double. And that's not a normal guy you can go and trade for. You can't just usually go out there and go get a guy that almost averaged a triple double, was an all star. And we did it with Danilo Gallinari in 4 first round picks. So you're really going. You really went and got an all star with somebody that's past. Nah, I wouldn't say he's past. Well, he is past his prime, but he ended up getting released. I mean, they bought him out. So I think this is fun. I think this is we talk. Yeah, as I said, I don't know. We don't know if JC is safe, but if you think like if we keep JC on the roster and like you said, closing lineup, that's a really good closing lineup. Like that's a really good last 10 minutes of basketball lineup. So and we know Trey can play the whole game if he needs to, but now he doesn't. Now you don't have to play him the whole game. Now you don't have to play Dejounte. You don't really and truly. Now that you got the Holiday brothers, they can both really give they can facilitate themselves. You got good backups now. Your backups are young and they're still good. I mean, we still got to have Reef. We still got to see Reef play some real minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Still got to see JJ play real minutes. But other than that, I mean, you're gonna see AJ's gonna play. I feel like a lot of people understand that. AJ's gonna have to play. I mean, he might be third in rotation at shooting guard, but he's gonna have to play. He's
Yeah.
gonna have to get minutes. Like you're gonna have to put him out there at one position. Even if it's shooting guard or a small forward, he's gonna have to go out there and play. Um so this is a year where our rookies really need to play. Um
See, the thing
I
about that though is JC really he almost never guards on ball, and his off ball defense, his rotations, his IQ has improved every year. So, I mean, I don't think his defense is too big of a problem, in my opinion.
I don't think his arm. A lot of people think about his arm ball, but he doesn't have to play on ball a lot when you play zone or like we play zone a lot sometimes. If we play man to man, then I see why. But if we play off ball, if he plays in zone, he's a really good weak side defender. He's a good help defender. Like he knows when to actually help you and when not to. And he can block a shot at any point. He's so athletic. He can jump above. If you throw it up high enough, he still can block it, no matter how high. Unless you're Curry and you throwing it off the top of the backboard. So, and I know it has to be fun in practice with him and Jason and like him and Trey trying to like do little moves and stuff. Like I know that has to be hilarious to watch because you got a point guard that does like have stuff like that. Like you're at practice and you're doing off the backboard plays in the middle of practice. Like that's stuff you don't really see in a real game, and they're doing it in game. Like we're doing this in the Eastern Conference Finals, doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, the stuff that you have to work on with JC is being consistent. I feel like it's more consistency. But that comes with just matchups. A lot of his matchups are hard, and sometimes like he gets really hard matchups at power forward. There's a
Yeah.
lot of good power forwards, and there's a lot of like I wouldn't say there are a lot of average power forwards, and there are a lot of guys that he's a top 10 power forward, and for what he does for the team. I will always say he's a top 10 power forward for what he does in the team, and he's top 10 getting paid, but he's still not making top 5 money wise, and that's what you got to realize. You're getting the guy that's not making top 5 money, but he can be a top 5 guy for your team. That's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. Like his impact on the team is what makes him be such a viable asset. Because if he wasn't valuable and all these teams want him, we could trade him.
Yeah,
But
money wise, I think it was Roland tweeted that or something. His contract with the bump in the salary cap now only takes up like 17% of the salary cap, and that's perfectly fine for an incredible number three option.
yeah, and he's a number 3 for real. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people don't like. We kind of want Dre to be the number 3, But JC's the number 3 right now. And what this offense and what Nate's going to predicate, hopefully, we pray and hope, is that, yeah, that's why I said consistency. It's more about consistency with him. It's the same thing I say with Dre. It needs to be consistent. Those are the two wings have to be consistent. I think
Yeah,
that's what
for
we
sure.
have to have. We have to have consistent wing play. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I,
obviously consistency with the wings, and hopefully, I mean, we talk about it at nausea pretty much with Dre, but like a healthy offseason, which is huge for him. It's the first true healthy offseason he'll get. Um, and so hopefully he takes that giant leap forward that we're all expecting. No guarantee, obviously, but good chance, in my opinion.
it's a big chance he comes out and he looks like the Dre we know and love. Um,
Yeah, like
I think a lot of
early
guys,
2020 draft.
yeah, I think a lot of guys have to know like this is a physical league. A lot of these guys played in college and played. I mean, college ball isn't as physical as the NBA, so a lot of their bodies aren't completely there. And then a lot of the guys aren't start having finished growing. So a lot of the stuff they're playing grown men that are fully developed and they get bumped 1, 2, 3 times and they something happens. Um, so well, if you put Dre at 3, then I mean you're gonna say you got to bring up inconsistency in his game too. So we don't. If you want to have a third option, I mean you can say it's Dre or you can say it's JC. I think it's JC right now. I think for
Yeah.
the way the team is structured right now is JC. And Clint really and truly, Clint it's really a fight for number. It's not really a number 3. We have 1 and 2. There's not really a number 3 because we don't know those 3 guys can pop off in any game. That's the thing about it. We can see Drake go for 30. We can see John go for 30. We can see Clint go for 20 and 20 one night.
Yeah.
And you just don't know who it is. Our number 3 option is kind of flexible with this team.
You have 5 guys on your team that can realistically give you 20 a night if they really have to.
Really and truly. And it's a strong 20. It's a 20 where they earn the 20. Like it's not
Yeah.
like an easy 20, not like cherry picking. It's like JC's backing up, turn around, fade, dropping them. His touch around the rim is so nice, and a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't want to really pay attention to it, but like he gets hit 9 times out of 10 at the rim. If he goes for a layup, he's getting hit and he's probably gonna make it. And like that's just what a lot of people don't look at.
Yeah, one of those I don't know what you call them, like the stat graphs that people on Twitter make, like Basketball Index and stuff. One
Mm-hmm.
of them is finishes at the rim and then like number of free throws. And JC was like towards the top and finishes, but towards the bottom at free throws. He gets no calls and still is one of the most efficient players in the NBA, which I think not enough people give him credit for.
He gets no calls. I mean, he gets none. I mean, we really want to look at JC getting. If I could go back and just watch games of him going to the rim and just getting killed, and he doesn't get a call, or I can't think of the one game where he was like right in front of the rim. And he just threw. I can't. I think it might have been Brooklyn or one of them. I know he like went up and he laid it up and he got smacked. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he got hit and it just went in. Everybody was like, "Well, at least he made it, but can he get a call?" Like it's stuff like that where you want to see it even because if JC can foul out off of just putting his hand straight up and getting bumped, like I mean it's stupid. Yeah, I think he'll be in Vegas. I think a lot of those guys will be in Vegas. I'll miss Summer League by a week. I'm so mad. Um, I'll be in Vegas the 20th, and Summer League ends like that couple of days before it. So I'm really mad. I'll miss it. But yeah, it's his usage rate. If you look at his usage numbers, they have
It's
dropped significantly.
it's dropped like 3 straight years now or
Yeah,
something.
I mean, first year, of course, it was gonna drop the PED, that whole 25 game suspension. That was gonna drop it. Um,
And you had Capella and Gallo and Bogey, and that's gonna drop it, and then just dropped again. So who really
yeah,
knows?
and then yeah, like you that second year, yeah, you gonna get. But then last year, of course, last year might have been his lowest, or the year before last might have been his lowest.
Yeah.
and he still was average. I think he still averaged like 16. So think about if you give him the ball more. I always say JC is a 20 and 10 player. No
Oh,
matter
for
what,
sure.
he's always a 20 and 10 player. He
For sure.
always is going to give you 20 and 10. So when you think about that in that aspect, your power forward is giving you 20 and 10. Trey's going to give you at least 20 and 10 in assists. Dejounte can give you 20 and 8 in assists, and you still have a center who's can give you 20 and 20. And then Dre, we don't know what Dre can do one night. Dre might just play amazing defense and score 5 points and have 10
Yeah.
rebounds, but play the best defense in the game. So I mean, I think Dre is an option. Dre's like Michael to me. He's like Bridges to me for us. Like he's our Bridges. Like where Bridges might not score a lot, and if he does, it's because like he's having a hot game. But if he's not having a hot game, his defense is still going to carry him. And that's what I like. I think that's what a lot of people don't understand about Dre. His defense is what makes him elite. It's not really about his offensive game, even though we've seen him. He really took UVA to that. I said UVA. It is it's UV, but he took Virginia to he took them really and truly. You go and watch back. Him, Ty Jerome, they really took that team to the national championship, and then he won it. So and he made Jarrett Culver look like he wasn't a top 5 pick anymore. Like I
Yeah.
mean,
Timberwolves should have listened.
he made Culver look horrible, and I don't think Culver's been the same since. I don't know like he hasn't been the same since. Dre has put out an effort where on defense where it's like okay he's scary, like what he did to Randall, scary. Like that, what he made Randall disappear. Like Randall was the most improved player of the year, and which we not gonna get into it. It's still fuck New York. I don't know. It's weird. Like that's why I say Michael. Like he's like Michael to me. Like he doesn't need to score. He just needs to play defense. His defense gives him offense. I think that's what it is. I wouldn't say JC soft. I don't
Yeah.
think
No.
JC plays soft. Um, I don't know. I don't think he plays soft. I think he just doesn't get respected. I
Yeah.
think
No.
that's really what it is.
There are times he gets absolutely whacked and doesn't get a call. That's not playing soft. That's just not getting calls.
Yeah, he just doesn't get calls. It's horrible for him. Capable of giving 20 and
But
10, but he's
that's
been
the
going.
thing. He did it for an entire season before Capella came. It's not that he's not. It's not that he's not giving to you every game like he should. It's just Capella takes away too many touches and rebounds for him to actually get it. He did
Yeah,
2010 before Capella got here.
it's
So my
it's
question,
it's really Capella. You got a better center.
yeah,
JC averaged 20 and 10 with a horrible center. I mean, he had Alex Horn and Dwayne Dedman.
and
So
Damian Jones.
and Damian Jones. Like that like he's gonna get 20 and 10 with those guys. When you add Capella, who's a really solid center, I don't know why people want to get rid of him. One of the most solid centers you can have in the league. You have to realize a lot of guys, especially at power forward, you're the two inside guys. Your one twin tower is not going to get as much business as the other one. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
like David Robinson was an MVP level player. Even still, when Duncan got there, his stats reduced heavily. So it's not
Yeah.
like that just happens naturally.
And when you have two big guys, one big guy is gonna not be the focal point. And I don't think JC's not a focal point. I think Trey likes a lot of pick and roll. Trey loves the pick and roll because that gives him offense. If he's not open for a three, he can get a pick and roll and he can dish it. Because a lot of people move around. So, you know,
I see. I don't agree with that, Wallace. It definitely has something to do with Wallace because you see, or it definitely has something to do with Capella because the minute Capella comes in, his stats drop. That's just obviously a direct correlation of Capella.
yeah, I'm about to go look it up 1 minute.
But I'm not on the get rid of Capella, but I think he's still good for the team. I think that's crazy.
Which is so weird to me. I don't know why people want to get rid of him, and I don't really think Aiden is much of an upgrade. Um,
I
really
mean,
and truly, I don't really think
Ainge,
Aiden is much of an upgrade.
Aiton's a fit and an offensive upgrade, but and fits the timeline better. But currently, you're still trying to win, so I think Capella is still the move because
Yeah.
Memphis might.
Capella's always. I think Capella's the move. I mean, he's here for what, 3 more years, 4 more years, or something like
With the
that.
extension, I think it's 4, but maybe I
Yeah.
don't know.
So
I never said get rid of Capella though. That's the thing. I'm on team keep Capella.
last year, what year could Capella come? 2021, 20. So if we go look at if you look at the year before, he averaged 21 and let me go look at it. It was 21-10. Yeah, it was 21-10. And that was the year right before Capella got here. That was
Yep.
2019, 2020. When you go to the year 2020, 2021, he averaged 17-7. So you have to realize, I mean, and then last year it went down to 16-7. He actually had 7.8 in 2020, 7.4. So it went up a little bit, but his assist numbers went up. He's averaging 2 assists a game now. And that comes from Capella. Because
Right.
he has a really good drop off game to Capella. So that gives him 2 assists a game. That gives Capella more points. Really and truly, that's why Capella can average 20 and 10 because he has guys that are going to give him the ball. A lot of people think, you have to realize Capella moves around a lot in the post. Like he runs around a lot. I understand why Capella's really like tired, like why he's worn out by the end of the game because he runs around. He gets down the court faster than a lot of
Yeah.
people.
He runs the
Like
court harder than every center. I think. I
yeah,
don't think I've seen a center run the floor harder
he
than he
runs
does.
the floor ridiculous. Him and OO, they both run the floor. Like they do not right. They run the floor.
Yeah.
I want to touch on Summer League real quick. And then we can wrap it up. So thank you guys for coming out and watching. We're gonna talk about Summer League for a little bit. So the roster came out today. It's a lot of names you probably don't know. James Aquino from Baylor. He's a rookie. He was a rookie signing. Joel, we got a whole bunch. He's from France. Ayeye. He went to Gonzaga. He's from France. Shanae Brown, of course, we all know he's still here. Chris Clemens, Sharif Cooper. Reef's going to his second summer league with us, so that's gonna be fun. Anthony Duruji or went to you probably know him,
Yeah.
Dick. He went to
DeRozan went to
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, he went to Florida.
He's got some dog in him.
6'7", 209. So he's a taller guy. Tyson Etienne, from Wichita State. I want to see Tyson because I think Rashad was very high on him, so I want to see what Tyson looks like.
Yeah.
Marcus,
I like anybody who Rashad is high on for sure.
yeah, I like guys because he's right about a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Grant Golden Marcus George Hunt from Georgia Tech. So we have a Georgia Tech kid on the team. Grant Golden, AJ Griffin. This is his first summer league. God, he was born in 03. God,
That's crazy to me.
that's nuts. 6'6", he's 6'6", 222. He's built. He's really built.
Yeah.
Max Hediger from UC Santa Barbara, 6'3", 180. Chandler Hutchinson, of course. Alpha Kaba. I want to talk about Alpha because this is his rookie year. Let's think about this. Alpha Kaba's been on the Atlanta Hawks since 2017. Alpha Kaba has been under, I guess, Hawks rights or something like that since 2017. And this is his rookie year. This is his first. He played Summer League the first year we drafted him. He didn't look as good as we thought he could, but I mean, I think he just won EuroLeague Turkey EuroLeague MVP, and he led in rebounds. If you can, I would suggest y'all please go watch the video. If you look up Alpha Kaba's name, this is the first one. It was from one of the games he played. He's a different player now. He's big now. I mean, he's 6'6", 240. I mean, 6'10", 242. So he can play that backup. He can play that 3 role for us at center, which I want to see if he can come out and have a great summer league. I can see him being on the team. Tyrese Martin, of course, and then of course everybody knows Tillman because of what Tillman did last year for us. So I don't know. The summer league roster is a lot more guards than forwards. It's a lot of guards and
I feel
not
like
a
that's
lot
how
of
it's normally
forwards.
is, though.
Yeah, that's usually how it is. We're gonna see a lot of small ball lineups, of course. I want to see Alpha. Alpha. I think Alpha is my player to watch. Throughout the whole summer league, I think I really want to see what he looks like. Of course, everybody wants to look at Reef and everybody wants to look at
Griffin.
AJ. Everybody wants to look at Tyrese because those are our rookies and our guys. The guy we drafted last year. JJ isn't playing. JJ had surgery, minor surgery. He didn't have nothing big. It was a minor, I guess. Like I said, these guys are small, bro. These guys are young. Their bodies are still developing. They playing grown men. You get bumped, you might tear something. You might hurt something.
If I'm
So
not wrong, was it JJ's surgery like a non like intrusive surgery, whatever? Like,
yeah, it was a non-intrusive surgery, so it was probably they just put a little camera in there. It's kind of what Dre did when before he actually had to go get meniscus repaired. Like they did a non-intrusive one, and then he tried to come back, and then they had to actually repair his whole meniscus.
yeah,
So, which is a scary. I mean, that's a scary injury to have. To not to have a partially torn meniscus and then having to go in and actually fix your whole meniscus after they said they fixed it the first time. Yeah, that had to be scary. I mean, that's scary for him. Yeah, I think like I said earlier, Griffin's gonna have to play. Um, if if we look at the roster, I made the roster. I don't know if I did. I didn't save. I need to make a Google Doc of it. If you look at the roster right now, it's not really constructed. It's constructed to where he's gonna have to play.
yeah.
Um,
He'll get some run. The question is, how much does McMillan want to play him? How much does Schlenk want him to develop in the G League? If he's not getting enough minutes in Atlanta, but he'll definitely get run throughout the year for sure.
yeah, I might have to. Let me go on. I need to go on. What is the name? I need to go on not stat reference. I gotta go look. Let me look at the over the cap because over the cap actually has the roster kind of. They have the roster set, which is kind of weird that they only have the roster set, nobody else does, and they're talking about. I guess because it's money. Um, but I mean, we're in debt. If y'all didn't know, we are very in debt. But I mean, we're gonna get out of it. Um,
For me, at least a mid-range game when it comes to centers, yeah. I mean, Capella's biggest weakness is the fact he has no touch and can't shoot. I mean, it's been that way since he's been drafted, and
yeah,
he's shown no sign of development and improvement. So I don't know. I mean, it would be at least nice to see him maybe take like some shots like outside the paint, like to show development. But at this point, he's not doing that.
so right now on the roster is Trey Young, Dejounte Murray, Justin Holiday, Maurice Harkless, Aaron Holiday, Clint Capella, Bogey, John, Kev's gone. Dre, Okongwu, Jalen, and Landale. So you got to give him some run. I mean, you got what? I mean, Okongwu is going to play center. So you got Clint, you got Okongwu. That's your two centers. Your power forwards is probably going to be JJ and John. So that's your power forwards. Your small forwards now. I feel like for Nate, our shooting guards and small forwards don't really matter
Yeah,
position wise. I feel like they matter a little bit, but they don't matter a lot.
they use very
Um,
interchangeably with Nate.
yeah, they're very interchangeable. So your only shooting guards and small forwards on the team right now is Bogey, um, really Bogey, Justin Holiday, and Aaron Holiday. And
And
Aaron
Dre.
plays point. Who?
Dre.
Yeah, Dre. Yeah, Dre. Small. That's the small. I don't know. I call them wings. I don't know. I call the shooting guards and the small forwards wings, but it's small forward, power forward. But I mean, you got that's only like four. You're gonna have to figure out who plays in what position. And of course, Dejounte is going to play shooting guard, even though he's considered a point guard. He's going to play shooting guard. So you kind of have you only have two. You only have two in shooting guard and you have 3 and 4, you're probably going to put AJ at shooting guard, and he's going to get some run. I just don't know how much run he's going to get. I feel like
Yeah,
he'll get. Yeah, we did.
we
That
did
was a net
Wallace.
trade. Yeah, it was a net trade. And Mo's really not that old. He's only 29. I feel like Hartlett's been in the league for a long time, probably because he's played for so many teams.
Yeah, he's been in the league for like 9 years now. But
Yeah.
I mean, he was just drafted young, so
So I think that's what we have to see now. Is like what positions what, and I think Tyrese has a chance of he's gonna be on a G League team, of course. He's
yeah,
gonna play like the Mays rule, I think, where he can come up and play a little bit, or he can, he just stay in the G League for a while. I think what saved Mays was we drafted him in the COVID year, and he had to be on the main roster, and it kind of showed. He showed out, which I wasn't mad about. He showed flashes. That Spurs game when he came in and dunked on the dude and all of that, like he had really good flashes. I wish we would keep him. I mean, we've done it 2 years in a row where we got rid of our second pick, and I kind of don't like that. We got rid of he was a free agent signing. Oh,
Nathan
what's
Knight.
his name? Nathan. We
He
got
was
rid of
nice though.
Nathan. Yeah, and Nathan was nice. Nathan was really nice. I wish we would have kept Nathan. Um, but I mean, it's. I mean, it's fine. I feel like we just Mo's been in the league since 2012, so he's been in the league 10 years. That's crazy. I don't even remember him being in the league in 2012. So yeah, he's been around. So I mean, I think we'll play the small four. I want to say he's gonna play small forward, and I want to say he can play both because he played both at Duke. He played forward and he played guard. And Duke and Coach K is always gonna have his guys ready.
He's built enough to
So
play forward.
yeah, he's big. He's really big. Like he's the weight wise. I didn't know he weighed that much. He's 6'6", 222. Like that's a forward. Like he's not a guard. Guards are usually like 6'6", 180, 170. He's a forward. Like he can put somebody in the post, and especially at his position because a lot of guys aren't gonna be his weight. So he has a good. His jumper's so weird to me, but it goes in. So I'm gonna just let him have. I'm just gonna let him. If it goes in, it goes in. I don't have a problem with. If you shoot like that, you shoot like that. It's only person like when LaMelo would shoot, you'd be like, oh, when certain people shoot, you'd be like, oh man, why'd you shoot that? But like when he shoots it, you say that, but then it goes in, you'll be like, oh, okay, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good. So I think that's the thing. Um, we got a lot of guys that we still have roster spots we have to fill.
Yeah.
Um, so
Hey,
we'll be back for that, of course, y'all. We'll definitely be back for that to talk about the guys we signed.
if you ask me though, so far it sounds like a championship roster.
It does. It sounds like we're at a point where Trey wants a ring, and I don't
Mhm.
think Trey's not gonna go anywhere and not get that ring. Him and Dejounte, they're
Yeah.
not going out without getting the ring together. So y'all get ready for a great season. I feel
For
like this
sure.
season's gonna be fun.
Yeah, one more thing. Trey's dad, when they made the trade, he tweeted out like, "I told y'all my son was real about bringing a chip to the A," and
Yeah.
like
He,
as like you players can say you love it, but when like the player's dad emphasizes over and over how much the player loves it, I think it really shows you how much Trey does appreciate it.
I do love that Trey said he wanted to be like Kobe and just play his whole career here. I mean, he said that
Yeah,
as soon as he got drafted, he was like, "I'm not leaving Atlanta." So you have your star of the future. You have your star of forever. Like, I mean, we have a star. We have somebody that can get us rings. We might go on a streak and win 2 or 3 back to back, and then it just be amazing. If we win 3 back to back, bro, you won't. I will wear Hawk stuff everywhere,
oh
and
for sure.
and it's a pressure thing now for Atlanta. For both, really and truly, I know I do Falcon stuff. It's a pressure thing for both teams because they're the only 2 teams left in the city that ain't haven't won a ring yet. So the Hawks, the Falcons have been here since '65, and the Hawks have been here since
Like
what?
67 or something.
Yeah,
So
like right around the same time. So think about it like that, y'all. Like they're the last 2 teams that haven't won a ring. This is pressure on both franchises where they need somebody's got to win a ring. Like, and they're the main 2 franchises. So when you think about Atlanta, the first 2 things you think about is the Falcons and the Hawks, or the Braves. Really, it's 3. And the Braves already won
yeah,
one. And Georgia, look, Georgia has a championship. Georgia Tech, throw up. They have a national championship. Georgia just won one after 41 years, but they have one.
The Braves got theirs. United got theirs.
Yeah, everybody in the city with the Atlanta or Georgia name has
The
one.
Swan got theirs.
Yeah,
Lacrosse.
like everybody with that name has a championship besides the Falcons or the Hawks. This is a pressure situation in Atlanta for both teams. Yeah, and the Dream. Yeah, the Dream need
Yeah.
one. The Dream need. Let's not talk about the early Dream days where we should have won
They
3 in a
went to the
row.
chip. They were so good.
We were so good. And this year, if y'all aren't following Dream stuff, follow it, please, because we have the best woman in basketball in Ryan Howard. Like, I mean, she's literally the best
So good.
rookie. She's like, I have never seen a female basketball player to play at guard at her like her. Like the way she plays guard, like if she can play in the NBA, I want her next to Trey. Like
Her
she is cold.
her and Sabrina definitely changing the WNBA
Yeah.
for good.
Yeah, and then you got I can't even think the girl Paige. You got Paige coming in the next couple of years. So
Beckers, how you pronounce her name?
yeah, Buckner, yeah, Paige Buckner or something like that.
Yeah.
Maya Moore ruined it. Yeah, Maya Moore did. Let's not even. Yeah, Maya. She's a different breed of player though. Maya Moore is just nuts. I'm mad. Like Maya Moore, all the teams we lost to. Yeah, like that. We're a championship. We're not yet a championship building team, but if you want to be, everybody, let's think about this. Everybody wasn't a Hawks fan until we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Don't do that with the Dream, and don't do that with the Falcons. Like we at least be a fan while we bad, please, because don't just be a Hawks fan now and want to be a GM. That's what everybody wants to do. As soon as we started winning, everybody wanted to turn into a GM. So let's not do that.
Yeah. Well, anything you'd like to shout out before we end the show?
Shout out Fila. Follow us on Twitter at Fila_SP. Follow us on I think you can do the page. The Fila is Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast on Facebook. We're starting to put these. I'm gonna start putting these on Spotify. I'm gonna start putting these on Apple Podcasts. So if you want your weekly Hawks reports, look for them on there. We're definitely still gonna be doing videos live, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you want to listen back, if you want to go back and listen, and you don't want to watch the video, you can definitely go on there and listen to it. So yeah, that's about it.
Well, be lookout on the horizon for more videos content from me, and enjoy your weekend because
yeah.
Oh,
happy 4th of July, y'all. I don't think everybody will see it, so happy 4th of July.
All right. Well, you got nothing left to say then, T.
Yeah.
Peace out.